moving them away from the stockyards if they were still there. We were putting stores in small towns or medium-sized towns that surround big cities, where there are lots of hobby farmers. When you look around Nashville, there are about 15 stores around this town, but we're in Dixon and Gallatin and Springfield and Lebanon and Smyrna and Murfreesboro and Spring Hill and Franklin and Columbia, all sorts of towns like that where there's a large customer base. So the stores evolved in a different way. The people we hired changed. We wanted people who could relate to this customer. For example, we always tried to hire a couple of young women at every store, do today, who have horses. They can relate to the customer. It changed how we advertised, what we advertised, how we got to the customer. It affected the hours we were open. Instead of closing at 5 o'clock, we close at 8 o'clock. Instead of being closed on Sunday, we open on Sunday. So that was the whole transformation. And today, when I started, Tractor Supply was one of a group of farm stores, and we were not the largest. Today, Tractor Supply has 3 times more stores than the next 5 competitors put together. They simply did not recognize and go after this customer. So that's success factor number 1, a strategy that really works with a clearly defined target customer. The other piece of this puzzle has to do with culture. We built and sustain today a very powerful, very strong culture. It starts with our mission and values. And I think there's up there on the screen right now a mission and value card. There's one on your table there. I'm not asking you to look at it right now, but this is, so many companies have missions and values and they put them on the wall and they put them in a handbook and they forget about it. With Tractor Supply, this is a way of life. We talk about it, we live it, we breathe it, and we measure ourselves against it. And I just wanted to run through the mission quickly with you. Our mission is to work hard, have fun, and make money by providing legendary service and great products at everyday low prices. The work hard is obvious. We have a great work ethic in the company. We do not encourage workaholics. We encourage hard work. We believe in having fun. We try to create an environment where everybody's having fun. Because when you're dealing with the public, and almost 90% of our employees are in stores dealing with the public, you don't want people uptight. You want them having a good time. So we're going to work hard, have fun, and make money. Now, make money part is everybody, well, the company wants to make money. Well, that's true. But more importantly, for the purposes of our mission, is everybody in the company is on a performance-based incentive plan of one sort or another. And the most common one is in the stores. The stores have a sales plan every month. The store manager has input in that at the beginning of the year. And every time a store hits its sales plan for the month, and everybody knows what it is, day by day, it's posted in the break room and they all talk about it. The minute that happens, we put a bunch of money in a bonus pool, and next time the paychecks come out, everybody in the store gets a bonus. And it's a percentage of how your pay relates to the payroll in the store. And you could easily be earning an extra day or 2 or 3 days pay every month, every time we make a sales bonus. Our stores make it about 2/3 of the time. So we share with people a part of their contribution. And I can tell you too, the more money that's being paid out in bonuses at the stores, guess how I'm doing? Fabulous. It all cascades up. So we're going to work hard, have fun, and make money by providing legendary service. We simply put the customer first in every respect. If when I was a CEO, I'd call a store and the store manager would say, "Hey Joe, I got too many customers here, can I call you back?" The answer is absolutely. The people in Nashville never interfere with the store. The truck's at the back door, the truck can wait while we have customers there. We always take care of customers first. And then we provide great products. We do that, we provide high quality products in every case. We never go the low quality route. And we do everything at everyday low prices. We try very hard to give our customers the greatest possible value. Now, if you flip this card over, there are 10 values on here that are very important to us. The most important ones, the first one, it's ethics. Always do the right thing, and encourage others to do the right, honest, and ethical things. We simply work in an environment where we do the right thing all the time and have a zero tolerance for ethics. And we talk about it all the time. From a leadership perspective, the more you talk about something like this, the more people will follow you. So as we were building the company, we worked very hard on 2 topics to build the team. Number 1 was selection. We worked very, very hard to select the right people. And we spent lots and lots of time teaching and developing and practicing. And today, Tractor Supply has a very, very low turnover rate because of the selection process, and secondarily because of the education process. From the mid-1980s, we did supervisory education, we taught store managers, we did everything we possibly could to develop the right people. Today, and for the past 20 years or so, before you could become a store manager, you had to go through a huge workbook in the stores, and you had to go through all the processes and the mechanical things. But you also had to come to Nashville to participate in a one-week program about leadership, about understanding Tractor Supply. It's not about processes and procedures, it's about values and strategies and direction and mission. And the classes are taught primarily by the senior executives. And so by the time, on Thursday night that week, you go out to dinner, and we sit at round tables like this, and there's one senior executive at the table and half a dozen potential store managers, and you have a nice, casual evening talking to the senior executives. So by the time you leave on Friday afternoon, you know all about the company. You've met all the senior executives. You've heard about this mission and values over and over again. So whether you're running a store in Franklin or a store in California somewhere, you can make a decision. You don't have to look over your shoulder. Don't have to worry about it. You know what the company's all about. You know what the right thing is. You can make decisions. You don't have to worry about somebody second guessing you later on. We developed these programs year after year after year, and back in, I think, 2002, we created Tractor Supply University, which is the umbrella for all of our executive education. And we do it from the ground up. In continuing in this whole process of staying close to the customer, I'd like to just tell you about a typical work week for me, and for many of the other executives. 2 weeks a month, sometimes 3. Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Tuesday morning, we leave town. I go out of town, I take with me a regional operating vice president who typically had 100 stores, and we take 1 or 2 other people with us. Somebody from the buying office, somebody from HR, somebody from IT, somebody from accounting, somebody from real estate. We'd always have 1 or 2 other folks with us, and we'd go visiting stores. We'd hook up with a district manager somewhere, and we'd ride with a district manager, and we'd go to most of his or her stores, and we may visit a competitor or 2. And we were in a store. You think, well, here comes the CEO and all the big cheeses, and nobody's going to talk to these folks. Well, we create an environment where everybody talks and everybody learns. You got to a store and introduce yourself, and you'd be talking to people, and I'd say, well, Mary, what part of the store do you take care of? And she'd say, well, Mr. Scarlett, I take care of the pet area. So, wait a minute, Mary, my name is Joe. Yes, Joe. Show me what's going on in the pet department. So we'd walk back into the pet department, and I'd say, well, how's this new 8-pound cat food selling? And she'd turn around and say, well, Mr. Scarlett, and it's Joe. Finally, they'd get it, and then all of a sudden become your friend. She'd say, well, this cat food is selling very well, but the customers are asking for it in the 20-pound bags, and all we have is the 8-pound bag. 2 minutes into that conversation, she's telling me everything under the sun. We're asking questions, we're best buddies, we're having a good conversation. And I'm gathering information. Now, I'm not going to necessarily act on any of that, but I'm modeling the right behavior, and others follow suit throughout the organization. So we're out there listening and listening and listening. In our business, the best ideas about new products and new ideas come from the people in the stores. And the better the job you do of listening, the more effective the better decisions you make, the better the leadership you provide. Now, as you're leaving the store, there's a big sign that hangs over the checkouts. Everybody in the world says the same thing: satisfaction guaranteed. Well, that's nice. But what's most important are the words that are underneath that. And those words say, every team member has the authority to do whatever it takes. So we're putting right up there, a great big sign says, we trust you. And if you work for Tractor Supply, you know that you're trusted to do whatever it takes for a customer. And you know what? That's exactly what they do. We get very few complaints centrally. Almost everything's resolved in the store because the people in the store can do whatever it takes. And nobody ever gets in trouble for doing anything too much, ever doing too much. We look at the customer not as this $20 transaction or this $50 transaction. We look at the customer, what's the lifetime value of the customer? And I don't remember the numbers exactly, but for a regular customer, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. And if you own a horse, we're talking about a lot of money. So instead of worrying about this individual transaction, we're going to do whatever it takes. If you don't like what you bought, it's not important. We're going to take care of you. Because that customer's coming back. We're not going to send a package to go somewhere else. But it's satisfaction guarantee. Then another little thing we did some years ago in our headquarters, which I renamed over the objections of a lot of people, the Store Support Center. People go, that's a kind of a corny way to call things, but it's not. We got to the point where everybody in our store support center spends time in the stores. They all recognize that that's where profits are made when customers give up. When the transaction takes place in the store, that's where we win. And everybody's bonus at the store support center is tied to how well the company does. So the better the stores do, the better the people in the store support center do. Well, that's one of those interesting things we've done. Then we focus on teamwork. Teamwork all the time. Everybody's a team. We all work together. One of the interesting things that we've been doing since 1982 are we have a lot of advisory boards. The one I have the most fun with is the Store Managers Advisory Board. We'll pick a dozen store managers at random from around the company, not rookies, but people who've been around for a little while. We'll bring them into town and say, come on, we'll spend a couple of days together. We'll lock them in a conference room. We won't actually lock them, but we'll put them in a conference room and we say, okay, we want you to tear the company apart. What do we need to do differently? What doesn't work? What new products do we need? What processes are getting in your way? What bureaucratic procedures are messing things up? What do we need to do about this? You know, just no topics off limits. Just start talking. I'll leave the room for a while, and when we come back to talk with you, I wouldn't know what's involved, but when we come back to talk to you, I want to tell you we're going to be taking notes, but we're not going to be taking names. So no topics off limits. Just tell us the ugliest, worst stuff you can, because whatever we can do to make things run better in the store, to sell more merchandise, to take care of more customers, we all win. So throughout the organization, we encourage and we practice teamwork at every level. And when those folks are leaving, we recognize their performance. We pat them on the back. And that's another essential part of what we do. We are a very, very recognition-driven company. We pat people on the back. We give awards. We honor this. We put your name in the company newspaper. And probably what we do more than anything else is we tell success stories. We tell success stories about what happened in this store, in this district, in this distribution center, in this, everywhere. We're always telling success stories. And success stories are such, I mean, it's a no-lose proposition. When you celebrate a success, you make those people feel good. They'll do more of the same thing, and you're teaching others at the same time. Success stories teach and motivate. It's a no-lose proposition. Anyway, you want to learn more about Tractor Supply? We have a wonderful book called Work Hard, Have Fun, and Make Money. It was I would love to tell you it's a bestseller, but I would be lying to you. It was a terrible seller, but it's a great book. My picture's in there a couple times. It's a great book. It has a lot of pictures in it, so if you're not a good reader, it'd be easy to get through. It's available on Amazon. It's only about $10. We got plenty of inventory. I don't know whether it's in the stores or not, but it's a fun book anyway. So as we look at Tractor Supply today, we look at what's made it successful. A great strategy with a very clear customer base. And we look at a culture, a really, really winning culture. By the way, we have one of the lowest personnel turnover rates in retailing. I think the future looks very bright. We don't see that customer going away. We see that customer continuing to grow. And certainly the culture will continue. And I'm confident that my successor, Jim Wright, when he decides to retire, whatever, if that ever happens, I'm sure he's going to leave behind somebody just like himself and he's going to continue to